Astryx Station was not a place where humans usually walked alone. It was loud, overcrowded, and full of aliens from dozens of worlds. Neon lights flickered across floating walkways. Vendors shouted prices in strange languages, and the air smelled like metal, spices and fuel. But Daniel Reeves, a simple human cargo pilot, walked calmly through the chaos with his jacket zipped and a toolbox in hand. He had repaired ships in worse places. Danger didn't scare him easily. He was on his way to Dock 47 when something made him stop. Crying. Soft, broken, coming from behind an abandoned supply station. Daniel frowned. In Astryx, most sounds were noise, shouting, bargaining, threats. But crying? Real crying. He tried to ignore it at first, but the sound came again, a plea, a tiny voice. Please, someone. Anyone, please hire us. Daniel turned slowly toward the dark corner. Two alien girls, clearly sisters, sat huddled together behind the supply crates. Their clothes were worn, their glowing markings dimmed, showing exhaustion and hunger. The older sister wrapped her arms protectively around the younger one, who looked barely able to stand the moment they saw Daniel. Both tensed like frightened animals. The older girl stood quickly, bowing her head. Please. Human, don't call security. We are not criminals. Daniel raised his hands gently. Relax, I'm not calling anyone. The younger sister's eyes were big and scared, her cheeks streaked with tears. The older spoke again, voice shaking. Human. Please, hire us. We'll do anything. Cleaning, lifting, running tasks, anything. The younger one whispered weakly, Sister, I'm hungry. Daniel's chest tightened. He had seen suffering in outer colonies before. But this was different. These two looked abandoned, lost, desperate. He stepped closer slowly. Where are your parents? Both sisters lowered their heads. They're gone, the older one whispered. Taken by hunters for failing the core tax. Daniel froze. The hunters, he had heard of them, cold, armored enforcers who took anyone with unstable core energy or unpaid tax. They never returned people alive. You two are alone? He asked softly. The older nodded. We've been hiding for weeks. No one hires girls our age. Merchants call us unstable, dangerous. The younger sister trembled violently. Sister, my core hurts. Her markings flickered sharply, an unstable pulse. Daniel knelt in front of her gently. Hey, look at me. Her fearful eyes rose to meet his. You're safe, he said softly. I won't hurt you. Her core pulse softened, just a little. The older sister gasped quietly. Human, she responded to your voice. Daniel blinked. Responded? Her core calmed. That's rare, the older explained. Human males have softer presence. Daniel didn't fully understand alien biology, but he understood fear. He stood and offered his hand. Come on. You two need food. And a job. The sister stared at him like he had spoken magic. You're hiring us? The older whispered. Daniel shrugged, embarrassed. I need help running my cargo ship. It's old and breaks every day. And you two need, well, everything. The younger let out a choked cry of relief. We will do anything. Please, let us help you. Then both sisters suddenly dropped to their knees. Daniel panicked. Whoa, no, don't kneel. Stand up. We owe you, the older said, trembling. We owe you our lives. Daniel gently took their arms and helped them stand. You don't owe me anything. I'm just offering help. The older sister bowed her head. Human. You are the first kind person we met. The younger grabbed his sleeve with fragile fingers. Thank you. Daniel nodded. Come on. Let's go to my ship. You'll be safe there. The sisters followed him with hesitant steps, looking around like every shadow was a threat. On the way to the ship, Astryx Station's lower platforms were colder, Quieter and much more dangerous. Fewer lights, more shadows. Daniel kept the girls close while scanning the area. He sensed fear in their steps. They flinched even when a vendor shouted nearby. Halfway to the dock, the younger sister suddenly stopped. Her legs shook. Her hands pressed against her stomach. "Sister, I think I can't," she whispered weakly. Her glow flickered again, faster this time, pulsing. The older sister turned pale. No, not now. Her core is unstable again." Daniel knelt instantly. "What's happening?" The younger girl breathed fast, clutching her chest. "Sister, it burns." Daniel placed a hand gently on her shoulder. "Hey, look at me. Just breathe slowly." She looked into his eyes, her glow softened. Her breathing slowed. Her shaking eased. The older sister stared in shock. Her core stabilized again. "Because of you." "Human? How?" Daniel shook his head. "I'm just talking. That's all." "No," the older whispered. "You're calming her core. Humans aren't supposed to do that." The younger leaned weakly against Daniel. "Human, warm." Daniel lifted her gently in his arms. "Let's get you somewhere safe." She didn't resist. She trusted him instantly. Arriving at the sci-fi, they reached Daniel's old cargo ship, parked on the far edge of the docking ring. It was scratched, patched with mismatched metal plates, and made a buzzing noise even when shut off. The older sister's eyes widened. "You own this?" "Yep," Daniel said. "It's ugly, but it flies, mostly." The younger forced a tiny smile. "It's beautiful." Daniel opened the door. "Welcome home for now." Inside the ship, things were messy but livable. He offered them water packets and food bars. The younger ate slowly at first, then faster, then desperately, like she hadn't eaten in days. The older sister bowed again. "Thank you, human, truly." Daniel sat across from them. "What are your names?" The older said softly, "I am Ayla." The younger smiled shyly. "I'm Lena." Daniel nodded. "Ayla, Lena, nice to meet you." Then a loud metallic bang shook the ship. Ayla froze. Lena dropped her food packet. Daniel rushed to the window slit. 3 armored hunters were walking through the docking ring. Scanning. Searching. Their voices echoed coldly. "Unstable core detected nearby. Trace residual energy. Locate targets." Lena whimpered and crawled closer to Daniel. "They're searching for us, Daniel. Please don't let them take us." Ayla grabbed her sister. "If they find us, they'll take Lena first. Her core is unstable. And then they'll kill me too." Daniel's pulse quickened, but he didn't hesitate. He hit the emergency lock button. Steel barriers slammed shut over the windows. He turned to the girls. "Hide, now, cargo hold. Go." Ayla grabbed Lena and ran toward the back. Daniel moved to the door and stood there alone, listening as hunters passed nearby. Each heavy footstep echoed through the ship. Lena hid behind crates, crying softly. Ayla hugged her. "He's protecting us, even though he doesn't know us," Lena whispered. "Why? Why is he helping us?" Ayla smiled sadly. "Because not all males are monsters." Daniel remained at the door for several long minutes until the hunter's footsteps faded. When silence finally returned, he walked to the cargo hold. Ayla and Lena jumped to their feet. "Are they gone?" Lena asked. "For now," Daniel said. "But you two must stay hidden, and we must move this ship soon." Ayla stepped forward. "Human Daniel, why risk your life for us?" Daniel scratched the back of his neck awkwardly. "Because you asked for help, and no one else listened." Lena wiped a tear. "Humans are kind," Daniel laughed softly. "Not all, but I try." Ayla took a deep breath and bowed. "Then please, let us stay with you." Daniel blinked. "Stay on my ship?" Lena nodded, voice soft and trembling. We'll work, clean, help, anything. Just don't send us back. Daniel looked at their scared faces. Their trembling, glowing markings. Their fear of a galaxy that wanted to swallow them. He sighed softly. You can stay. Lena gasped. Ayla covered her mouth, tears forming. Lena stepped close and gently placed her glowing hand on Daniel's. Her core flickered with gentle light. Ayla whispered, trembling, her core just responded to you again. Daniel looked at Lena gently. You're safe. Both of you. Lena whispered, Daniel, thank you. You saved us. Daniel squeezed her hand softly. And I won't stop now. Alia smiled softly. You have changed our fate, human. Daniel stood taller. No, we change it together. And at that moment, none of them knew that this simple act of kindness would bring danger, bonding, and a future none of them imagined. But it had already begun. Daniel didn't sleep at all that night. He sat in the narrow cockpit, watching the radar as Ayla and Lena slept in the small storage cabin. The ship lights glowed dim blue, and every sound outside made him tense. The hunters had been close, too close, and he knew they would search again. He glanced toward the back of the ship. The sisters were curled up together under a blanket he had given them. Lena's small hand gripped Ayla's sleeve even in sleep, as if she feared disappearing. Ayla slept sitting half upright, body tired but protective. Daniel whispered to himself, they're just kids. They didn't deserve any of this. He leaned back, rubbing his forehead. A soft voice behind him said, Daniel, you're still awake? He turned. Ayla stood there quietly, her markings glowing faintly in the dark. She wore an oversized jacket he gave her, sleeves hanging past her hands. Daniel smiled tiredly. You should sleep. It's late. Ayla shook her head. I can't sleep. Not when Lena's core is unstable. Not when hunters are near. Her eyes softened. And not when you are sitting alone. Daniel straightened. You two need rest. I'll keep watch. Ayla stepped closer, hesitating. Daniel, may I sit with you? He nodded. She sat in the co-pilot seat, pulling her knees up slightly. You're not scared? Daniel asked quietly. Ayla gave a small, sad smile. I am always scared, but with you, it is different. Your presence feels steady, safe. Daniel looked away, a little embarrassed. I'm just doing what anyone should. Ayla shook her head gently. No, people walked past us for days, you didn't. Silence filled the cockpit. A gentle hum from the engines. Distant voices from the upper platforms. Ayla breathing softly beside him. Finally she whispered, Daniel, why did you help us, really? Daniel leaned forward, elbows on his knees. Because when I saw you two crying, something twisted inside me. I've been alone before. I know what it feels like to have no one. I wasn't going to leave you like that. Ayla stared at him, eyes filling with emotion. Lena and I. We thought all humans were like the merchants. Cold, afraid, cruel. Her voice broke slightly. But you're different. Before Daniel could respond, a loud metallic clang echoed outside. Ayla froze. Daniel, they're back. Daniel jumped up and ran to the small window slit. 3 armored hunters were marching between docked ships, scanning each one. Their red visors glowed like burning coals. Ayla whispered, terrified. They're scanning for core instability. Lena's glow. It might still be traceable. Daniel turned sharply. Wake, Lena. Both of you need to hide in the engine crawl space. Ayla shook her head vehemently. No, hunters scan heat signatures there. Then where? Daniel asked urgently. Ayla grabbed his arm. The storage crawl. Behind the coolant pipes. The hunters won't detect weak core energy through the coolant layer. Good. Hide there, Daniel said. But Ayla didn't move. She was staring past him at the entrance. Footsteps approached. Heavy, slow, intentional. Daniel whispered, "Ayla, move." Ayla's markings flickered in panic. "Daniel, I think they know." Daniel quickly walked to the back cabin and gently shook Lena awake. She opened her eyes, confused then terrified. "Hunters?" Daniel pressed a finger to her lips. Follow Ayla, quietly." Lena clung to Ayla's clothes as they crawled into the tiny coolant line compartment. Ayla whispered, "Stay quiet, Lena. No matter what happens." Lena nodded, trembling. Daniel slid the panel shut. Then he stood silently in the middle of the ship. The footsteps grew louder. One stopped right outside the door. Daniel exhaled slowly, ready to face whatever came. The metal doors slid open, and an 8-foot armored hunter ducked inside, scanning the cabin. Its red eyes locked onto Daniel instantly. A chilling metallic voice echoed, "Human, you are alone on this ship?" Daniel forced himself to look calm. "Yeah, just me." The hunter tilted its head. "Your engine registered core interference earlier." "Interference?" Daniel scoffed. "This ship barely runs." "It always has interference." The hunter stepped closer. Its claws scraped softly across the metal floor. Ayla and Lena were hiding just meters away. Daniel planted himself firmly between the hunter and the back of the ship. "What are you doing here?" he asked boldly. The hunter responded, "Searching for 2 unstable female cores, young, weak, dangerous. They must be neutralized." Daniel's jaw tightened. His pulse hammered in his ears. The hunter sniffed the air slightly. "Human," it growled softly. "We sense fear," Daniel smirked. "Of course I'm afraid. You're huge." The hunter stepped closer, too close. It lowered its face toward him. Its breath smelled like metal and ash. "Fear reveals truth," it hissed. "Tell us, have you seen any young Lumerian females?" Daniel stared straight into the glowing red lenses. "No." The hunter's head tilted again. It raised its hand and pressed its claw to Daniel's chest. The sharp metal pricked his shirt, almost touching skin. "Your heart rate is elevated," the hunter growled. "Humans cannot lie well." Daniel swallowed hard. But then, a sudden sound came from behind the hunter, a small clatter, a tool falling. Ayla must have shifted. Or Lena dropped something. The hunter's head snapped toward the sound. Daniel acted instantly. He stepped forward, intentionally dropping his wrench loudly. The bang echoed through the cabin. The hunter whipped back around at Daniel. Daniel shrugged. "Sorry, nervous hands." The hunter stared at him silently. For too long. Then finally, it stepped back. "Your ship is unstable. Not a source of core activity." Daniel exhaled quietly. Then the hunter added, "If you see the targets, report immediately." "Sure," Daniel lead. The hunter turned and walked out. The door shut behind it. Silence fell so heavy that the air felt thick. Daniel waited. 3 seconds, 7 seconds, 12 seconds. Then he whispered, "Ayla, Lena, it's safe, come out." The compartment slid open. Lena crawled out first, trembling so badly she could barely stand. She crashed into Daniel's arms, crying softly. "Daniel, Daniel, I thought they would take us." He hugged her gently. "You're safe. I won't let them take you." Ayla stepped out next, eyes full of shock and something else. "Daniel, you lied to a hunter," she whispered. "You risked everything for us." Daniel smiled faintly. It was worth it. Ayla exhaled deeply, her markings dimming in relief. Lena gripped Daniel's shirt tightly. "You stayed calm. Even when it almost killed you." Daniel patted her back. "I've dealt with worse." Ayla walked closer, voice trembling with emotion. "Daniel, you protected us. Like family." Daniel looked between them. 2 girls who had nobody else. 2 girls who trusted him with everything. He felt something pull inside his chest. "They are not your responsibility," a voice whispered in his mind. But looking at their scared faces, he knew the truth. They are now. Lena wiped her tears and whispered, Daniel, if hunters find us again, I won't survive. My core, it reacts to fear too fast. Daniel gently lifted her chin. Then we'll keep you safe. I promise. Ayla stepped closer, placing a glowing hand on Daniel's arm. Her touch was warm, calm, steady. Thank you, Daniel, for everything. He nodded. But deep inside he knew this wasn't over. Hunters rarely gave up, and the sisters were hiding a core. Instability far bigger than they understood. Protecting them would not be easy. It might cost him everything, but Daniel looked at the trembling sisters, at Lena clutching his sleeve, at Ayla standing brave despite fear, and he made a silent decision. He would protect them until his last breath, even if the whole galaxy came for them. Daniel didn't know how long he stayed sitting in the cockpit after the hunters left. His heartbeat slowly returned to normal, but his mind remained sharp, alert, and ready. He checked the scanners again. No immediate danger, for now. Behind him, Ayla and Lena sat quietly on the floor, wrapped in blankets. The sisters leaned against each other, tired, scared, but alive. Lena's hands still shook. Ayla rubbed her back gently, whispering soft words in her native language. Daniel exhaled and stood. We need a plan. Ayla looked up. To escape the hunters? Yes, Daniel said firmly. They'll come back. They always do. Lena's eyes filled with fear. Daniel, if they find us, they'll take us away. Daniel crouched in front of her. They're not taking you. You promise? She whispered. Daniel nodded slowly. I promise. Ayla watched him, studying his face carefully. Why do you care this much? Daniel looked away for a moment. Because I know how it feels to be powerless, he said quietly. To have no one who fights for you. No one who listens. No one who protects you. Ayla's expression softened. Lena's trembling slowed. I won't let you live like that, Daniel added. Not while I breathe. Ayla whispered, Thank you, Daniel. But he wasn't done. He stood and paced, thinking fast. We need to get off Astryx. Hunters can track core energy across the station. If Lena spikes again, they'll find you instantly. Lena hugged her chest. I don't know how to control it. It hurts. Ayla placed her hands over Lena's. Your core is too young. You cannot control it alone. Daniel rubbed his chin. Then someone needs to help her. Ayla hesitated, then looked at him deeply. Daniel, you calmed her twice today. That is not normal. Humans usually do not affect Lumerian cores. Daniel frowned. Then why me? Ayla shook her head. I don't know. But Lena reacts to your voice. Your presence. Your touch. Lena's cheeks glowed faintly. It feels safe. Daniel felt warmth in his chest. He kneeled again. Lena, take my hand. Her eyes widened. Why? Just trust me. Slowly, nervously, Lena placed her glowing hand in his. A soft blue light flickered between their palms. Her breathing steadied. Her markings softened. The tremor in her hands faded. Ayla gasped. It's true. He stabilizes her. Lena blinked through tears. Daniel, you're the only one who can stop the pain. Daniel gently squeezed her hand. Then stay close to me. Whenever you feel scared, hold on. Lena nodded slowly, eyes shining. Okay. But before Daniel could speak again, piercing alarm echoed through the station. Red lights flashed across the docking bay. A metallic voice blared. Alert! Hunter Patrol detected an energy spike. Unstable core in Dock Sector 19. Daniel froze. So did Ayla. Lena clutched Daniel's arm, terrified. Daniel, they're coming. My core. Her markings glowed brightly for a split second, triggered by pure fear. Ayla grabbed her shoulders. Lena, breathe. Daniel held her hands tightly. Look at me. Only at me. Lena stared into Daniel's eyes. And slowly, very slowly, her glow faded again, but it was too late. The hunters had detected something. Daniel whispered urgently, "We're leaving. Right now." He grabbed his jacket and tools. Ayla helped Lena. Stand. They moved to the cockpit. Daniel began powering up the ship. Engines hummed. Lights flickered. Control panels flashed. Ship taking too long. Ayla whispered nervously. "I know," Daniel muttered. "This ship is older than me." A metallic crash echoed outside. Lena whimpered. "They're here." Daniel stared at the radar. 8 dots. Then 12. Then 20. A full squad of hunters surrounded the dock. "Damn," Daniel whispered. "They brought an entire unit." Ayla grabbed his arm. "Daniel, what do we do?" Daniel gritted his teeth. "We fight. We escape. We survive." Then he turned to Lena and held her hands gently. "Stay close to me." "As close as possible." Lena nodded weakly. "Okay." He looked at Ayla. "You too. Stay between us. Don't get separated." Ayla nodded firmly. "Yes," but before they could leave, boom. The ship shook violently. Hunters slammed into the outer hull. A loud metallic voice roared outside. "Unstable core detected. Surrender the females or be terminated." Daniel clenched his fists. "Oh, hell no." He looked at both girls. "Follow me. And whatever happens, don't let go of me." He opened the side emergency hatch. Cold air rushed in. Hunters were already jumping onto the dock. Yla gasped. "There are too many." Daniel grabbed both of their hands tightly. "Move." They ran down the metal ramp. Hunters roared behind them. Ayla clung to Daniel's sleeve. Lena held his hand like a lifeline. One hunter jumped in front of them, towering, armored. Claws extended. Lena screamed. Her core flared. Daniel stepped in front of her. The hunter swung its massive arm toward them, and suddenly Daniel's body glowed. A soft, warm human blue glow spread from his chest to his arms. A shield of energy burst outward. The hunter flew backward, crashing into a dock wall. Ayla and Lena froze in shock. Lena whispered, "Daniel, your energy. It reacted to mine." Ayla trembled. He merged with your core. Even if for a second." Daniel shook his hands, stunned. "What just? No time." More hunters charged. Daniel grabbed the girls again. They ran down the narrow walkway, boots slamming against metal. Hunters climbed the walls. Some leaped from above. Others fired red scanning beams across the dock. Ayla shouted, "Daniel, they're chasing us from all sides." "I know." Daniel yelled. They reached a cargo elevator shaft, dark, narrow, but open. "Inside." Daniel ordered. They squeezed in just before a hunter landed behind them. The elevator dropped fast, shaking violently. Lena pressed herself into Daniel's chest. "Daniel, I'm scared." "I know," he whispered. "But I'm here." He held her close. Ayla pressed against his side, helping steady her sister. "Lena, stay calm. Daniel is here. Breathe." The elevator reached the lower level. Daniel kicked open the door. They ran again, but this time into a quieter, darker part of the station. Pipes, metal grates, dim lights. No people. Only the hum of machinery. Yla panted. "Daniel, where are we?" "A maintenance tunnel," Daniel said. "Perfect hiding spot." Lena trembled. "They'll still find us." "They always do." Daniel crouched and gently took her hands. "Lena, look at me." Her glowing eyes met his. "You survived this long," Daniel said softly. "Because you're stronger than you think. And because Ayla fought for you." Lena's breath slowed. Yla squeezed Lena's shoulder. "He is right." Daniel smiled warmly. "And now you have me." Lena blinked. You want to protect us? Even after all this danger?" Daniel nodded confidently. I told you. I don't run away from people who need help. Ayla stared at him, eyes full of something deeper than gratitude. Lena leaned against him, tears falling softly. You saved us. Daniel stood up. Let's keep moving. But before they could, a deep metallic voice echoed through the tunnel. They turned slowly. The largest hunter yet stepped into view, massive, heavily armored. Glowing red like fire. Human, it growled. You hide unstable cores. Step aside. Daniel stepped forward. No. The hunter tilted its massive head. You are weak. You cannot protect them. Daniel clenched his fists. He thought of Lena crying behind crates. Of Ayla whispering comfort. Of two girls abandoned by the world. He raised his voice. I don't care how strong you think you are. You're not taking them. The hunter raised its claws. Lena screamed. Ayla held her. Daniel stood firm. Light exploded. Lena's core ignited. Daniel's chest glowed. Ayla's markings shimmered. Their energies connected. 3 heartbeats syncing. A blast erupted. Powerful. Bright. Unstoppable. The hunter was thrown down the tunnel. Armor cracking. Lena collapsed into Daniel's arms. Exhausted but alive, Ayla fell to her knees, staring in awe. Daniel. Your energy. It fused with ours. Daniel breathed hard. I don't know how. But it worked. Lena looked up weakly. Daniel. Are we safe? He held her close. Yes, as long as I'm here, you're safe. Ayla touched Daniel's shoulder gently. You saved us. Not by strength, but by heart. Daniel smiled softly. We're a team now. A family. The girls leaned against him, tired, trembling, but full of trust. And deep in the dark tunnels of Astryx, new bond was formed. One that even the hunters feared. One that would change all their lives forever.